How someone handles an emergency tells you a lot about the person and, more importantly, their character. Look, I've been an airline pilot for over 25 years, and I've also owned real estate for about that time. One thing I've learned being an airline pilot is they don't pay us for when things go right. They pay us for when things go wrong, when we're at 40,000 feet over the Pacific Ocean and we have an engine catch on fire. We always say that we're paid for 10 hours of boredom followed by 10 seconds of sheer horror. So what I've learned is that when you are dealing with someone, you can really see their true colors when things go wrong, right? When things are going right and things are good, everybody gets along, right? If you're in a partnership with someone, in the beginning of the partnership, it's great. Nothing can go wrong. Mostly because you never talk about worst case scenarios. You don't talk about what the downsides are. You wanna see how someone reacts to bad things and their true character? Take them golfing. See how they handle the whole day of golfing and have all the issues. Put them in the flight deck, put them in a simulator, and load them up with a lot of emergencies and problems. I have been with people that their true character comes out, and I will tell you that I don't care how they are when things are good. I wanna know how they react when things are bad. Do they become selfish? Do they become self-centered? Do they only look out for themselves? Are they looking out for the betterment of the business, of the real estate deal? Are they making sure that everyone else is taken care of? You know, one of the things I've learned is that true leaders are created. They're not born. If you wanna see somebody, how they handle things, and you think someone is a leader, you wanna see how they handle emergencies. One of the biggest mistakes people have is they confuse being a leader for being a manager. Now, a manager is someone who says everybody has to get up that hill or you'll be fired. A leader says, I'm going up that hill, who wants to come with me? And people come with you. There's a difference. And the leader, when there is an emergency, is the one that people look towards. They wanna make sure that they are following the right person. And the reason they're following that person is that person has a vision and they believe in that vision and they trust that when things go wrong, that they are gonna handle it correctly. Now, when there's an emergency, you can never assume and understand when something's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen, right? And you can never predict an emergency, right? But what I would suggest is that when you have an emergency and you have something going on, have some sort of manual, some sort of policies, some sort of procedures, because whenever something is going to happen, that is not the time for you to start creating emergencies. And the way that you deal with emergencies is you actually practice for them. See, in the airline industry, we are always practicing for emergencies. We are going through simulators and we're doing engine failures and hydraulics and strong crosswind landings, things that we don't normally see, but when it does happen, we are prepared. So my question to you is, how do you prepare for emergencies? Just hiding and hoping that it never happens, I don't think that's a solution, and I don't think that's how you want to handle an emergency and hope and pray that it comes out. The way that you handle an emergency is you prepare for it. You study for it. You're ready for when it happens. You hope it never does happen, but when it does happen, you are prepared for it. And also check the character of the people that you're working with. Make sure that they have the same values that they have the same end goal that you have, that everyone agrees that the vision is going to outlast the emergency. Because an emergency is something that is a perspective, right? Sometimes people will tell me, I have an emergency, my tenant won't pay rent. Well, that may be true. That may be an emergency for you. I don't think of it as an emergency. I think an engine catching on fire with 300 people on an airplane, I think that's an emergency. I think that's a little more critical. Not getting your rent on time, I would not qualify that as the same emergency category. Not saying it's not important, I'm just saying it's not as emergency as you may think. A contractor ripping you off is not an emergency. There are ways to look at emergencies, and at the end, when it's over with, you sit there and you ask yourself, okay, what is it that I could have done differently? How could I have handled this emergency better? Now, in some of the other videos I've done, I talk about how airline pilots handle emergencies and the process we go through. So you may want to watch one of those videos to see how I handle emergencies and how I'm trained. But again, handling emergency is not about reacting very quick and being the most loud person or being the most energetic or the most scared or running for yourself. Handling an emergency is actually being prepared for it, being methodical, being focused, and always looking for the outcome that is best for everyone involved, not just you. So hopefully you like this information. Please comment and subscribe. I'm Steve Rozenberg. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.